Dude.
Apparently, Sean makes the rules around here. I didn't even know.
Certainly does. I'm okay with the rules.
I don't make
But only right now because they're benefiting me.
That's
if he makes
fair
a
enough.
rule that doesn't benefit me, I'm gonna vote him out.
And that's it. That's the only thing I make. Mistakes, man.
Y'all look good over there.
What's up,
I'm
Sean?
jealous for sure.
Me and Sean are all symmetrical.
I wouldn't know about myself. I'm unsure, actually. That's all right.
You can trust me.
Sean made me and him being on the screen a priority today.
Yeah, I see that.
No, screen's getting taken out. Screen's out.
Nah, I actually like it. I like it a lot. It looks good.
It does.
Yeah, it's cool.
It needs to tweak it some more. The compound's still coming together.
You mean to tell me it's not perfect on the first try? That's not the case. We can't do it.
Nah, I'm not. Hey, Daryl, can you hit the stop? Please? Can you cut this?
Instantly
We're done.
perfect.
Let's put all this on Facebook Marketplace.
If it's not
Out of here.
If it's not instantly perfect, you should quit.
I agree.
That's the rules.
All right, we're done.
All right, we're going home.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been a great time.
Hey, Daryl, are they hiring out there? I need
they're hiring out at the refinery at all times.
He's like,
and
hell yeah.
We're gonna quit doing this because it wasn't perfect the first time.
All right, well.
You should do that with your fitness journey, with your life, with your career, with your relationship.
Everything.
Yeah, everything.
Everything should be quit immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, any
Just kidding,
opposition,
guys.
turn the other way.
Don't do that ever. It's not the rule.
Yeah. I think we sensed the sarcasm in your voice.
The sarcasm. Yeah. So too many people, even if the plan, so like say that somebody wanted to start a podcast, which I've heard people talk about this before. You know, I was gonna start one, or I would like to have started one, and insert, you know, either in some way the plan wasn't perfect, or they thought that it wouldn't work out perfectly.
Right.
And I'm like, I would be lying if I said I never had a mindset like that with anything. But at this point in my life, I have come to realize I have accepted the fact that essentially nothing that you go for on the first time or in the early stages of anything is it going to be perfect.
Yeah, I agree. Ever. And I think it's very important to realize that, you know, when you're young, it's hard because especially for competitive people, yeah, everything's a competition. So you just want to win all the time.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, me too. So, but when you're a kid, you know, that's when the whole, you know, you start cry or whatever. I'm just making something up.
Yeah. But, you get frustrated with.
Yeah, you get frustrated faster. So if you go into it knowing that that's not the case, it's almost like you convince yourself that, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. You know, like you said, when you're younger, of course, their maturity comes into play, and lack of experience, I think, is the main one. Because of course, when you're a kid, you're still learning how to deal with several things: your emotions, with failure, with winning. You're trying to learn. You don't have any experience with hardly anything, right? You haven't gotten really any type of results out of your life. Haven't tried and failed a whole lot, so you're kind of learning how to lose, how to win, how to control your emotions. But you know, as you get older, you know, the earlier that you can accept that it's not going to be perfect, you know, instantly, and that you're constantly going to have to work to stay at the top of your game. Now the sooner that you can accept that, I think the earlier you're going to start making progress.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I noticed that big time with car repair. Like anytime I'm like working on my car and I'm looking at the YouTube video.
Oh yeah, there's always somebody on YouTube.
Oh my God, I'm like, man, am I gonna be yelling in like 5 minutes? Usually I am.
Interesting.
The worst one that I experienced, I was working on my CV axle on my car, and I'm working on it, and it wasn't a bad day to work on it, but it was kind of cloudy out. It was no big deal, and I'm like, man, I was struggling.
Got to be a perfect day.
I was struggling to get it off. I was like, dude, I can't get it off. I didn't have the correct tools, of course, and I'm just laying there, just covered in gunk and whatever, blacker than I already am. And I'm just like, dude, what is going on here? I can't get this off. And so I was about to give up. I was going to just throw in the towel. And then I was like, all right, cool. As soon as I was like, let me try it one more time. Pop, I get it off. And then it starts raining. it starts raining.
Always.
And I'm under a carport, so I think I'm okay. I think I'm good. And there's a perfect runoff right where I have to lay. So I'm laying under there, and I have to get it on now.
It's like the rain's being filtered into Sean.
Oh, dude, I was so mad. I was so mad that I didn't have anything to hit. I didn't want to hit anything because you're under a car. So I was like, let me be sensible here. So the first thing I did is I just like grabbed my shorts, and I was just like,
I got to take my frustration out on something.
And the shorts didn't even tear or anything. I was just like,
then you feel dumb.
Well, I felt good because I got it out, but yeah, I felt a little dumb because the shorts kind of beat me. But I got to see VX and the car drive.
Hey,
so
man. See,
out.
This is a really long story explaining why I just don't work on cars at all.
Yeah.
Just don't even start.
So there was
I just don't start.
2 topics early on here. 1, not everything's going to be perfect. 2, especially working on cars, don't do it.
Just don't do it.
That's the second rule. Don't ever work on your car.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Leave it to the professionals.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, if you never, if you let I think it the fear of it not being perfect or not being easy kills way more dreams and goals than failure did. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I think. 'Cause people fail every day. I fail every day at something. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I know y'all guys probably do too. We all 3 lead different lives, but failure is a constant reoccurring thing. If you can, if you cannot repeat the same mistake more than like once or twice, cause sometimes, people say, oh, don't ever, make the same mistake twice. I can get down with that, but there's certain situations where you're like, let me try one more time.
Yeah.
And you try, and you try it and you fail again. You try it and you fail again. It's like, okay, I failed twice. Cause the first time could be a fluke, right? You tried and you failed twice. Okay. You have to move on and you have to switch up the game. You can't keep trying to do it the same way over and over again. Even if there's somebody online that said, oh, this is how I did it. The
car YouTube video,
right? This guy's probably actually a mechanic.
It's like, man, it's super easy. And it's like,
it's likely that you're still going to find your own way.
Yeah. And their car is different than yours. There's a lot of X factors here. There's a lot of variables. And so, and the people online, they're probably lying anyway. I mean,
there's a good chance.
I'm just talking trash, but let me tell you something. If there's somebody online telling you that it's going to be perfect the first try and you're going to record one podcast, going to get 500 million views and you're going to be rich, they're lying, right?
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll bet you if you ask Joe Rogan, who has the most popular podcast in the world, how he felt right before he started and then when he started, and if he was immediately the biggest podcast in the world, he'd probably laugh you out of the room and be like, definitely not right. And podcast is just one example. Mm-hmm. Let's take Mr. Olympia, any Mr. Olympia in history or Mrs. Olympia, any Olympia champion, and ask them how the early stages of training were, if it was perfect from the get-go, if they knew exactly what to do.
They would laugh. They would laugh at their past experience.
They would definitely laugh.
For sure. And even when, to talk about like OTG and what that is, and even our podcast.
Yeah.
And even the things we did at the gym. Like I look back at the decisions that were made and the things we did, the things we tried. I'm just like, what the hell is wrong with you?
I mean,
it's laughable.
Yeah.
It's laughable.
Yeah.
We got 3 business owners sitting in this room right here, all very different. Mm-hmm. And I bet you can go to the early stages, iPhone car pictures.
Oh man. Yeah.
Personal training and working full time. Me reading all of the, every real estate book that I could find, the early stages right before I even bought
I was about to say, think back to your first like rental purchase, and then think about what you thought it was going to be because of all the books you read compared to what
all the Bigger Pockets podcasts I listened to.
Yes, exactly.
I was going to be rich instantly.
Oh, no doubt.
As soon as I closed, I was retired.
And nothing against Bigger Pockets. I learned a lot from great stuff.
Absolutely.
But wonderful. You hear the success stories, and obviously you hear the people that reiterate how hard it is and stuff like that. Certainly. Too. But a lot of times you read books, you listen to things, and you get these thoughts in your head. Oh, this is how it's going to be. This is how it's going to be. I'm about to kill it. Yeah. I'm going to be rich
instantly.
You know what I'm saying? Overnight.
Nothing can go wrong.
Everything's imperfect.
Yeah, that's I went back and I was looking at some stuff on because Roman Empire, I think they're gonna make a expansion soon. So I was looking at George's Instagram. I just went back. I was
Dude, that thing
checking
has
it
just
out.
absolutely exploded. I don't know those guys or that guy, but man, good for him.
Yeah,
Like,
they have great reputation, great stuff.
He is crushing. I worked at the old Roman before they moved to the new facility.
I never even seen it. Yeah,
it was a small warehouse style gym. They had some cool equipment, but it was a humble beginning, and man, he's crushing. Anyhow,
yeah. So, well, I was just saying, just the spot now. I was surprised because he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to expand. It's going to be bigger than this." And I was like, "Man!" So I looked back and I seen the smaller warehouse. I never been in it, but I was like, "Man, it was kind of tiny in comparison to what he has now." And he's still looking to expand and grow. And I was like, "That's the good part. Is like he didn't just get stuck at that first place and was like, okay, I'm done here." He got to the next place. It seems badass, and now he's like, "No, I still want to push."
You have
further.
to keep challenging yourself. Yeah, for sure. And that's what
really cool
what creates real winners and real competitors is they're scared of complacency.
right.
Yeah.
I think is probably what's going through his head. He's probably looking around and like, man, look at this tiny little place. Dude, we got to do something. We got to make some shit happen fast.
Yeah.
He's got bigger.
I'm sure that's what's going on.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, how does that saying go? I just read it the other day, and here, Daryl the Butcher, I'm going to butcher it again. Basically, it says that lazy people, essentially, the outcome is people who win are hard workers, are scared. They're doing everything they can, and they're scared that they're being lazy. Lazy people are doing nowhere near everything they can and feel like they're
Like owed the world.
well, no. Well, they just feel like, oh, it's too much output. It's too much work. And the people who aren't scared of the work, the guy like we're discussing, what's his name? George. Man, we could get him on the podcast.
Sure.
George,
That'd be great.
George, I don't know him. I've seen him a couple of times. I always just about every time I go, he's there just doing something, you know?
Yeah, probably crushing the gym. Because I bet that guy crushes the gym.
Sure.
I mean, if you got a fucking big ass business, your fitness is in check, probably. Anyway,
More than likely.
Yeah.
But the point is, you know, lazy people or people who are scared of the work they feel like they're doing too much or it's too hard. And the people who are either on their way to winning or have a winning mindset or not scared of the work, they're busting their ass every day. And their worry is they're not working hard enough. And so that's the difference, right? I think the difference is not natural given talent, which comes into play sometimes, not what you were born into, even genetically or financially. It comes down to the true success, especially success with a big radius where it's not just one person. It touches people all around you. People that are crazy successful or hyper successful like that are the ones that aren't scared of continuously working and growing and getting better, right? They're not scared to fail. They're like, well, you know, I mean, I got to keep trying, right?
You got to try something.
I got to do something. I got to get bigger. I can't, they can't.
I think that's my favorite thing about business ownership or entrepreneurship.
Perfect.
Is the ability and
I was wrong.
well, everything's perfect from day one.
Right.
That's a given.
Always, instantly.
But it's the ability to make it more perfect. To fulfill your own potential and to grow more and to, you know, you can't necessarily just give yourself a raise. It doesn't really work that way. You know what I'm saying?
If you own a business, you can just pay yourself whatever you want.
Oh yeah.
That's
good
the
point.
rules.
Okay. You know what?
Sean.
We're done. We're done. I'm just gonna pay myself whatever I
Wisdom pays
want.
Sean $1 million a day.
Man, you know.
Dang, how's that working?
I don't know, man. I'm
Pretty great.
I'm still waiting for the boss to send me my little check. Give me my
But it's
thing
just
for my
it's
desk
the
and everything.
it's the ability to continue to create.
Yeah.
You know, like that you know that
Willingness to continue to create.
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
The willingness to put the work in. You know, I feel like this is my personal opinion. I feel like all individuals, and I'm going to say especially, well, no, I guess it's different, men and women, but that's a different topic. I think all people are here for a purpose, and everybody has a different purpose. There's different things that drive and motivate. Individuality is a beautiful thing, right? Everybody, from the school teacher that's all she cares about, and he or she wants to teach those children in the early stages, and that's her purpose, and she feels great about that. Or the entrepreneur, the gym owner, that your purpose is to help people dig themselves out of, build their physical fitness, right? So that they can have a better life. Sean, your business is, you can do many things with your business. You can help other businesses grow. You can help people capture beautiful moments in their life for a lifetime that'll go on.
I just press a button, man. That's all we do.
That's it. Yeah. And you hit the edit button on your laptop
and it's done.
Yeah. And it's done in no time.
Think about like your work. Think about shooting that wedding. Just one example. And then 2, 3, 4 generations down the line.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to look at that picture that you shot 50 years ago, or, that wouldn't be 4 generations, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah,
like
I
their
agree.
grandmother or their great grandmother's wedding.
Yeah.
And you have given them that. So that's just one facet of what you can do. Definitely. But I think that the point is, I went way off track. The point is, everybody, I think we are naturally given we want to work on something. We want to pursue something. We want to build naturally, and it looks different for everybody. And a lot of people get discouraged because they don't instantly know what that is. They don't instantly know what they're trying to build. The school teacher's trying to build the young kids. Phil's trying to build physiques and lifestyle. Sean's trying to build memories and businesses and capture moments, right? There's different goals, right? There's different pursuits. But since a couple things, don't instantly know what that is, they don't ever try. And then they see people around them doing things and they feel like, oh, well, he's got it perfect. He knows exactly what he wants to do and he's got the money to do it. So he's going to do it. And it hasn't always been that way. I've known you since we were 9 years old, and I know that you didn't always, you've grown and evolved beautifully into the person you are now, and you're still on your way. I don't think you'll ever stop trying to grow, but everybody needs a project to work on of some type, needs a purpose. And I think that, I personally also believe that most of the time it involves helping other people in some way, providing something to others that can help them.
Using whatever skills you have. Like everyone's skill set is different. Yeah. At the end of the day, everything is to help someone else.
Right.
If you're doing it right.
Yeah.
It's like, what skills do you have to be able to do that?
And
Sean just so happens to have piqued an interest and has grown a skill set in photos.
Right.
Right.
I did have, do you guys, speaking on building something and also not letting little things like certain oppositions get in your way to like totally get rid of your dream. Have y'all ever listened to a podcast called How I Built This?
No. I remember the show on Discovery Channel.
I didn't know it was a show.
How I Built This. But carry on.
No,
I'm thinking of How It's Made.
Yeah.
It's probably a similar idea, but it's about
Guy Raz.
Yeah.
Yep. I do know that great podcast.
Yeah, super, super good podcast. So I listened to it the other day, and it was the co-founder of Zoomies, that clothing store, skate brand and stuff like that. And he was just talking about like the come up of that whole thing. And it wasn't really like some crazy, the stars align type thing. It was pretty simple. The guy was working at JCPenney's in the, I think the 70s area, somewhere around there. And him and his friend, they were they weren't super happy with how JCPenney was being run. And they felt like they could do it better or do something like it better. So they got a, got an SBA loan and opened up their first place, and it was called Above the Belt, and they ended up opening their second location. And when they did that, they actually got sued by another company. And he was like, yeah, we didn't go and go like to some big advertising firm or something like that and spend a bunch of money and to try to get a new name going. He said him and like just his peers, the most creative people he knew, is what he said. He was like, man, we need to get this together. We need to figure out a different idea here, a different name. And so they ended up coming up with Zoomies after like a couple little back and forths. And they were like, all right, we're going to keep it rolling. We're going to keep it going. And I think that was just a cool like testament to this guy. He just had nothing but fight in him. He was like, I just want to provide this service no matter what it's called. He wasn't really too wrapped up on the name. Zoomies actually came from like the way he explained it. It was like a misspelling pretty much. It was supposed to be one thing and it ended up being misspelled. And he was like, man, I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. So it worked. Yeah. And he was like, at the end of it all, he was like, it didn't matter what it was called. He was like, I'm going to have this business and it's mine and we're going to grow it and it's going to be one of the top, and it still is one of the, a super popular store. It's like, is it my store? No, but it's like, I went there a lot when I was younger. Yeah. And super unique, story, super cool guy too. It's a pretty good episode.
Yeah. I like that podcast a lot. They have a lot of, startups. They have, I've listened to all like the entrepreneurs in the fitness space. They've had like the Orange Theory people on there.
Really? And, they had the Chipotle guy on there. That was a pretty good one too. Mm-hmm. So
I bet that guy's not rich. No, but what I'm hearing, Sean, is basically, this guy had a vision and he wasn't willing to back off or to give up. And, at the end of the day, it came down to doing the work. Mm-hmm. He didn't let just being a guy that worked at JCPenney with a dream stop him. He didn't let a lawsuit stop him. He didn't let a rebrand stop him.
Yeah. It's like all these things are simple things that I could see some, probably other people be like, oh man,
talk about imperfect.
Very exactly. Yeah. So it's just like, it was really cool to hear that. It's like, man, this guy was like, no, I don't care. Yeah. I don't care what it's called. We're just going to sell. Sell well.
I'll bet you there would be a trend. There's not very many businesses around right now. Maybe there's some newer stuff. There's not very many businesses or successful people around right now that don't have some kind of crazy story about how it was very hard to start. It was super imperfect. And then fast forward 10 years and they're doing well.
I feel like that's every gym owner, really. That's all the small gyms around here. It seems like all of them kind of started off with like some type of really, really small and rocky beginning. Probably OTG started very much like that, I would imagine.
I mean, I think pretty much everything starts that way.
Yeah, not just the gyms for sure.
So
true.
It's but a lot of them don't make it.
Yeah.
So it's the ones that do persevere and make it 10 years later. Mm-hmm. They're telling the stories.
Yeah.
If the person that did quit 3 years in would have continued, they'd be that same person.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, you got to get in the game, dude.
Yeah.
You got to just get in there and try. Like, let's go with Tom Brady, who just retired, GOAT, greatest of all time. And, he was like a 6th-round draft pick. He was a backup player and he went into the game because the starter got hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All those 20 years ago or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Drew Bledsoe. And was the starter, I believe. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. Point is, he was probably sitting on the bench. Drew Bledsoe was just better than him, and he was playing. And Tom Brady, that's freaking savage now anyway, is probably just sitting on the bench. His jersey's all clean. He hasn't had any playing time. Drew Bledsoe gets hurt. He's like, oh shit, I got to go in the game, right? And I didn't talk to him about this. I haven't heard him talk about this, but I'll bet you he had butterflies and he was probably scared, but he went out there anyway and he got in the game. Yeah. And look at him now, greatest of all time. What do you think would have happened? Where would we be talking about him right now if he'd have been like, coach, I didn't expect Drew Bledsoe to get hurt.
I didn't bring the right shoes.
I don't have my helmet. I didn't plan on him getting hurt. I was just sitting on the bench collecting a paycheck.
I was just hanging out.
He got his young, inexperienced, scared ass off the bench and he went in the game. 20 years later, is greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And one small example of somebody who probably didn't have a perfect plan, was, I'm sure, very scared That's a big stage, dude. That's a lot of pressure, right?
Yeah.
And he got his ass up and he got in that game, dude. And now he's the greatest of all time. And not everybody's going to be the greatest of all time, right? There can only be one.
Right.
But, the point is just get in the game, dude. If you don't ever try, if you let the fear of it being imperfect stop you from trying, or the first little thing that goes wrong steer you off the path or make you pivot. I'm not saying pivot's always a bad thing, especially in business, but like you can't just, give up after one try. You can't look for an hour and call it quits.
You get your ass out there and you find that fucking dog.
Yeah. So, what is that? Billy Madison? Billy Madison reference.
Speaking of, we're going to see Adam Sandler on Monday.
What? You're going to see Adam Sandler
on Monday?
I bet you hit when he first got into comedy, it was perfect right at the beginning.
Oh,
he didn't have any obstacles.
No,
but anyway, carry on.
Yeah, Monday, stand-up comedy, Toyota Center.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I didn't even know.
You working, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm working every single night from now until I'll have one more day off until between right now and like March 16th or 17th.
Oh man.
But so I can't go see Adam Sandler.
Well, I'll let you know how. I'm very curious. I'm assuming you remember he used to have songs.
Yeah, I think he's going to be playing. Right?
So I'm sure it's a combination of like stand-up comedy and maybe some songs.
Okay.
I'm not real sure. I have no idea. It said with special guests. She's taking me.
Is she going to drive you and everything?
Hope so.
Hey, sit in the back. sit in the back on the way.
Yeah, she can get the door.
Call her driver. Driver, turn left here.
Yeah, go to Chick-fil-A, right?
Yeah. If you get in the right lane at Chick-fil-A.
Get me a number one. Spicy.
See, I don't really know what to expect, but and it also said with special guest. So it didn't say who it was, but we'll see.
Probably Elon Musk or Donald Trump or something.
I'm sure.
Well, speaking of Daryl kind of like having a busy work schedule, I think this is a good time to shift gear into some of the topics that we have for today.
How long are we into this thing?
We're 26 minutes in.
We're about 30 minutes.
I don't think we need to shift this topic.
Yeah, I wanted to just talk about the fact that we just have Daryl back, and I'm just happy that he's back.
Yeah.
That's great.
Last week was rough, man.
Yeah. The start was rough. Getting out of the blocks was kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie.
The only OTG podcast I've ever missed. So for the viewers and listeners at home, there's like hundreds of millions of them that just love hearing my voice, all of our voices. I am currently working a big job, what we call a turnaround at the refinery, and I'm on night shift, and it's 13-hour shifts, and it's literally every single night. So I'm actually recording this podcast before I'm supposed to go in, or I was supposed to go in. My boss decided that tonight was the night I needed to take off, which changed a couple of times, but or changed once at least. Anyway, so the point is I missed last Friday because I had to go in early, and it felt really weird. I felt really bad about it, and two, I missed Kevin. So I did get to talk to Kevin at the gym. And we need to get him back on. Yep. And he needs to come sit in here with us, with me.
Have a real podcast.
And have a real podcast. And most importantly, my mustache is leading the way.
There you go. Have you still been able to sneak into the gym as much as you can?
I have been going. So here's what I have. And I go into things like this big job, this big turnaround that I'm working with a plan in my mind. I'm going to work out X days, I'm going to eat this, I'm going to train that, blah, blah, blah. And it's never perfect. It always ends up getting jumbled up a little bit. But the short answer to your question is yes. So I started off and I had this plan. Okay, I'm going to keep my same protocol. I'm just going to space the days differently or whatever. That kind of went out the window whenever, I had to go in early, had to stay late a few times. But here is what I have been doing the past. So I've worked 14 in a row. And so the past probably 7 or 8, I've gotten to this rhythm of one day I will go for a walk or jog, or a walk or a run when I wake up before I go into work. And then the next day I will slip over to OTG and I'll train for like 40 minutes. And it's whatever I feel like doing, whatever's not sore. I do 3 or 4 supersets and I get in and I get out. And the next day I'll go for a walk or a jog. And the next day I slip into OTG and get a session in. So I've been doing kind of like an every other day in the gym. So I go home and go to bed. I'm in bed at like 7 a.m. I get up at 2 p.m., 1:30, 2 p.m. and I'll hit the gym, get my food ready or whatever. walk or run or / gym and then go into work. So yeah, I've been making it work. My weight has been holding. I wish it would fall a little bit. But you know, training intensity is down in general.
But at least you're training though.
I am training. The calories. So I was telling Kevin this, he was kind of asking a little bit about, when I chatted with him and Sean for a couple of minutes on my way out of the gym. And I was basically just telling him, yeah, I've dropped the calories really low because training intensity is not there. Right. I'm not in the gym getting after it for an hour and 20, you know, my cardio sessions are a lot, lighter. So the caloric intake is just lower in general right now to maintain my weight. But, yeah, man, I've been making it happen. It hasn't been perfect. It's been
changing sleep schedules is very difficult.
It's hard. Very, very hard.
It's a tough one.
A lot of melatonin, a lot of blackout curtains, you know, a lot of, I try to get up and immediately like wake up, pee, go outside for a minute and get sunshine on me, get the sunlight.
You said like 2?
Like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Sunlight in my eyes, sunlight on my skin. If it's warm enough, I'll go for a walk with like my shirt off or something, you know, around the neighborhood or a jog. So yeah, it's been tough, but we make it happen, dude.
Yeah.
We don't throw the towel in around here.
Yeah. I mean,
It's a priority.
I've made it a priority.
And yeah, that's, I guess, you know, that's the big thing. It's like, even if you have a crappy schedule, it's like to be able to sneak in and get at least a 40-minute workout, 30-minute workout, or a walk or a run is important. Some people think, you know, if I can't go into the gym or if I can't, you know, make all this time, then I can't do it at all. So I'm just going to make excuses about not doing it. And it's like,
I think that's a very dangerous mindset that people get into. They think that, if I can't spend 90 minutes in the gym crushing chest, I might as well not do anything.
No, yeah.
And that's incorrect. You know, doing something is better than nothing. Even walking often for a lot of people is the most underrated form of exercise that there is.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know, is going for a walk as good as getting to the gym and hit some squats? Maybe not, but is it better than sitting on the couch eating chips?
Definitely.
Yes, it's much better, right?
Super common misconception.
Exponentially better.
that's what I would tell people all the time. I used to, my old manager at the pawn shop, I actually got her into running around the building. I would run around the building every morning and they'd like look at me kind of funny. And I'm just like,
That's when you know you're doing something right.
Yeah, I would sit there and I'd get there early enough and I'm like, man, I'm gonna walk. And so I walked and I would just be on my phone walking. And then eventually kind of built up to a little trot. And then I was running by myself for a little bit. And then eventually I had her running with me. She's in her 50s, 60s. And she would struggle. You know, she would walk for a while. Then it's same way. Started running just like me. And then eventually she's able to run 3 whole laps, which I think 3.5 laps around there or 4.5 laps around it was a mile. And I was just like, she was able to knock it out and we'll just be talking the whole time. Yeah. We weren't like breaking records or nothing, but it's like, she was able to do it. And I was like, that's great. You know, you're doing, you know, better. And then at first she would be like, oh man, I just can walk around this much. And I was like, you're doing better than a lot of people out there. I'm telling you, think about all the people just in your neighborhood, in your age group. You're doing way better than they are. I put anything on that for sure.
And now Sean's running 5Ks.
Next step, Boston Marathon for Sean.
Why not?
Next year.
Lap around the pawn shop.
I want you in the
5K
Boston next year.
Boston.
Yeah.
Order of operations.
Yeah. Order of operations. Yeah, man.
But,
I ran the 5K. I ran a 5K the other day and it felt pretty good. It wasn't, it didn't really, it was good. I made sure to eat. I had a bagel with almond butter, and cold brew and blueberries beforehand. And it was great.
Good fuel.
Yeah. I ran the whole, like pretty much 1.5 miles without stopping. And then I stopped a couple times. There's like some short walks here and there to just kind of like catch my breath and kind of work on that. That seems like a huge part. You know, I was doing the fill method and I was trying to like save my little big breath in my back pocket, you know, whenever I needed it. So it's like, then I'll just take that big one. And it does really kind of reset the whole rhythm of that. And it helps a lot. So yeah, it feels really good. I'm still a little slow, but I mean, this is my second run out of the training that I've done. Right. So
dude, it doesn't matter, man. You have begun. Yeah. The most important major key to being successful is beginning. Yeah. You have to start doing it, right? Yeah. And to the people who, you know, you're talking about the old manager, sound like she probably wasn't in great shape in the beginning. There's a lot of people in that boat. If you can something as little, if you can walk to the end of your living room and then to the end of your driveway and then to the end of your street and then around your block, you know, you have to build up. You're not going to be the greatest of all time right off the bat. You know, you got to get into the game. You got to get the gears turning. You have to begin. You got to get moving in the right direction and not fear that it's not going to be perfect in the beginning. It's not going to go smoothly the first time you go for a run, you know, the first time you go to the gym, you're going to be sore. You know, it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows, but, you know, the end result with consistency is going to be, you're going to get better, you know, and you're going to be proud of it and you're going to feel good. You're going to feel better.
Yeah. Did you feel good afterwards?
I felt fantastic. I felt fantastic after the first mile and a half that I did. I felt great. I feel really good after running. And it's like, I thought I was more of like a short distance runner, but like running long distances, or longer distances is pretty nice. It feels pretty good. So I liked it. I felt like I probably had a little bit more in the tank. Like after that, I felt like I could have probably went like probably a half a mile more, but
another 27.
Yeah. I don't know about that, man. That's still a huge number to me. Like the fact that some people run full marathons, that's crazy. That's crazy. 30 miles. I mean, I round up. I think of it like 30 miles. That's
almost 30
far,
miles.
Man.
I mean, over 26 miles.
That's far. What's 30 miles from like here? I mean, that's just
Galveston.
Galveston
Ish, Galveston's-ish, 30
so
miles.
So you just run straight to Galveston.
Run to the causeway.
Oh, Sean,
man,
might as well try.
Yeah, you won't have to fix that CV axle if you just run there.
I'll probably have to fix my hip.
Next time Sean's car breaks, he's gonna be like, "I'm just gonna take up running."
Yeah,
I'm not fixing this car.
Look at all these benefits.
Look at all these benefits. Don't have to fix the car. Number one,
no gas,
not getting rained on,
for gas,
not covered in gunk under the car.
Yeah, there you
Don't have to worry about the downspout blowing water all over you.
No car payments.
Yeah. Do y'all have a ideal time to be in the gym?
Me?
Yeah. Like, I mean, if you like for you, like what's your perfect amount of time to be in the gym?
Oh, duration while I'm there?
Yeah. Duration.
I think for me, if I'm not doing cardio along with my weight training, like an hour. An hour is like ideal for me. That means that I can get all the stuff that I want to get done without absolutely killing myself. I feel like I can do it properly. Take all the steps I need to take them properly within an hour.
Yeah. I would say if I go more than an hour, there's a problem somewhere. I was probably playing on my phone too much.
Sitting there talking to somebody.
Hour and a half is kind of my ideal. If it's any longer than that, then I'm bullshitting. Because I usually like throw in whatever cardio or stretching.
Including stretching and cardio and everything.
So,
Okay.
I try to throw those in there. But if I'm in there for any longer than that, I'm bullshitting.
Yeah. Mine's I go in, I do a quick warm up. I'm talking about less than 5 minutes, whatever muscle group I'm doing, I warm it up. I hit a couple of practice sets and I get going. And like Phil said, if I'm short of an hour, I probably won't get everything I want to get done how I want to get it done, as well as I want to get it done. And if I'm longer than that hour, that means I was messing around on my phone. I was talking to somebody.
I really
at the
like
gym.
50 minutes, 45 to 50.
I was taking too long of rest between because I was feeling lazy. The 1 hour mark is kind of my.
Yeah. And I've also cut down on volume since running more. Like I'm running quite a bit at this point.
Yeah. So, how has your running been going, Phil?
It's good. I'm liking mine a lot. I went for the longest run last Sunday, 14 and a half.
Nice.
So that was pretty good. Felt great.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I had a little problem with my toe right now, but met with Dr. B the other day. He says he gave me some tips on taping up my ankle. Tips. Yeah, well, taping up my ankle, and then also some foot exercises that I've been doing because my ankle was kind of locked up a little bit, and then also it seems as if the arch muscles in the bottom of my foot don't work that well. And I think that's an issue. So I've been working on that. So I use the little toe spreaders.
Yeah.
Like girls do when they get their toes painted.
Okay.
To get more dexterity in the toes.
Do you wear them when you sleep?
It's a good idea. I have not done that.
You could wear them at night when you sleep.
It's a great idea.
Thought about buying some. Because I've heard that it's good for foot health, but especially if you want to be a better runner.
Yeah. Because like what's going
on the toe splay.
Yeah. What's going on right now for me is my toes are all real together and they also lift up versus lay down. So he says that lifting is from tightness in the top of the foot, right? Because pulling,
Okay.
right? But then also inactivity at the bottom of the foot.
So you spread them.
You spread the toes to work on dexterity of the toes, and then you work the arch muscles in your foot because when those are active,
claw a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And then that helps pull the toes down the way that they're supposed to be.
That's a squat cue, isn't it? Like when people claw the ground.
Yeah, I do think when I'm squatting, I think about that. When I'm squatting, I also not necessarily claw the ground, but almost try to act as if the arch of my foot could touch the ground. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's pretty helpful for me.
I think about my toes, trying to splay them out, and then driving through the heels is what I think about when I'm squatting.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, the speaking of, Sean, you're running a marathon
Yes.
or a half marathon?
5K.
5K.
How long is a 5K?
3 miles.
3 miles. 3.1. Denver's running the 5K.
Next stop, Boston. Don't let Denver beat you.
Sean, you got to make this a priority.
What?
Sean, you got to win this.
Win it. Like win it? Like beat, like what's the priority? Beating Denver or running?
Winning.
Qualifying for Boston.
You got to qualify?
Beating everybody there.
You can't just pay some money to show up and just,
No, just giving you, here's the goal. Run your best 5K at some point before the race and then beat yourself on race day.
You know, I at the end of my run the other day, I did try to pick up the pace at like the very end. Like you try to get that sprint like through the finish line. At the end, and it was kind of tough. That was hard. After all the running, it was a little hard.
The first one or two are like so significantly harder than the following. Every single time you do it now is going to be easier.
Yeah.
Every single time.
It was easier. A beautiful day too. So it was great. Running like the place I ran was like around my neighborhood and there's this huge lake and it was just really, really nice. I was just like, man, I was thinking the whole time how I could get faster and how I guess like, cause I don't have a really long stride when I'm running. I don't know if I need it though.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
We could talk about this next week.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to have some guests on next week.
Yeah. We can kind of cover all these things.
Yeah. So, but no, Sean, that would be my recommendation. Seriously, keep running, and run your best 5K that you can. And on race day, know what that pace was and then challenge yourself to run faster than that pace and beat your personal best time on race day.
I told Sean 30 minutes. Would be a good goal.
That's a really good goal.
Because he sent me his time the other day,
and it was 35:52.
Go for 30 minutes. Try 30 minutes on race day.
My pace was 11 minutes and 49 seconds per mile.
Because Denver's going for 31 minutes. So
31.
Denver did 4 miles yesterday.
I'm just messing with you. I have no idea. I have no idea what she's going for.
She even asked me if I wanted to run with her yesterday.
Oh, that's pretty romantic.
It's getting serious.
Jessica has never asked me. She asked me if I wanted to run and go get some ice cream.
Run to the store.
Run to the store. Do you want to run and go get some food? But she's never asked me to go for a run.
If I run, she means drive.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
Oh, man.
Well, guys, we've been going 43 minutes. Yeah. We didn't even talk about what we planned to talk about.
I know.
We did a little bit.
But that's good because that'll be a topic I feel like this topic needed attention.
Yeah.
And next time after we have our guests and everything, next time we have a free week where we don't have a plan.
Yeah.
We'll talk about what we were originally going to talk about today.
Yeah, I think that's good.
But the point is it's not going to be perfect in the beginning.
Yeah.
Just get started, dude. Just get started. Go for it. If you have a goal, go for it. And I'll give you one other tip. If your business model or your passion or whatever it is that's driving you is rooted in service to other people, providing a product, providing a service, whatever it is, if it's going to help people, if it's going to fix a problem, if it's going to any number of things, serve people in some way, in all likelihood, you're on the right track and you will likely succeed, in whatever it is that you're trying to do. That's a little small tip. With time, right?
Yeah, with time.
Eventually, not immediately, but eventually, if you're in it just to get rich or just to only improve, because that's going to be a byproduct. You're going to improve your lifestyle.
That's right.
If it's just for you, this is business ventures, then, it's probably there's less likelihood that it works.
It's kind of like what we tell people. Obviously we do personal training, right? We work with people that don't feel very fit and they want to become fit and they want to feel better. They want to lose weight or whatever it is that they want to do. Right. So obviously we can't guarantee any results, right? There's no guaranteed results here, but I'll do my best. We will do our best to help you out.
Yeah.
Right. The only thing I can guarantee you is that if I can help you come up with a plan of action that you enjoy enough to get results and you can do it for long enough, we will eventually get where it is that you want to go.
Sure. Agree.
And that's kind of across the board. We're speaking fitness specifically right now. Weight loss.
That's a little different.
Weight loss.
You should do that for yourself.
Yeah.
Or for other people.
Yeah.
If you got kids or whatever.
Yeah.
How's that saying go? People say that they would die for their kids, but would they live for them?
Ooh. Powerful.
Yeah. I'll die for my kids. I'll do anything for them. Will you live? Will you get in shape? Will you lead them? Will you show them how to do life?
Yeah, show them good habits.
Yeah. Will you crush it every single day? Will you show up over and over and over and over again and show them what it takes? Will you do that for them?
Speaking of fitness and bettering yourself, before we close out, there was a customer that I had before, and he was a bigger guy, and I think his name was, I'm just going to call him Jack for the story. So Jack
was jacked.
So Jack used to come in, and he was a big guy. He really liked guitars, like tech, really, really nice man. But he'd always come in and just this kind of like a just big kind of round guy. And so he'd come in pretty often, and then we just didn't see him for a long time. So we didn't see Jack for probably about 6 months. And then he came in again, way smaller. It looked like Jack took off a fat suit and was just totally different looking. I'm like, dang, Jack, what happened? What's going on, man? And he's like, he said he got some type of corrective surgery, but he switched his diet up like tremendously, stopped eating a bunch of crap, and he lost a bunch of weight, and he kept the weight off. And so he said the reason why, I was like, man, so what led you down that path? And he's like, man, I went ziplining in this beautiful place, Hawaii, Bora Bora, wherever. He went to some beautiful place to zipline with his daughter, and he couldn't because he was too big. He's too heavy. And he's like, I never want that to happen again. And so he's like, I
took action.
Yeah, he took action, and he was like, man, this is the time that he's like, I'm never going to let that happen. And now he's a lot smaller, and he can do all those things with his daughter and family, and and actually live life.
Good for Jack.
Yeah, so that was it was really, really cool, and that's something that I think about all the time.
Take initiative, take action, lead. It's not going to be perfect. Get knocked down, get back up, keep going. That's how it works. Put the work in. Don't be scared.
Yeah,
Sean, you got anything?
Just make sure you like, comment, subscribe wherever you see the podcast.
Tell your friends.
Share
your grandmother.
Not every platform allows you to rate, but if you can leave a rating, that'd be great. 5 stars if you really like it.
10 stars.
10 stars if you love it. But it's share it with like Daryl said, share it with your grandma, dog. And
especially whoever. Your dog. Yeah. I really like
dogs. Like podcasts.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. My dog listens to podcasts all the time. Yeah. Phil, you got anything?
Diesel seems like
he's a podcast kind of guy.
Podcast listener.
Because you can do that while not doing anything else, which is his favorite activity. Not doing anything else. What else you got, Phil?
Nah, man, I think that's it. I'm excited for
go for it. Is it going to be perfect?
It's not going to be perfect.
So we're not going to talk about the 5K right now because we got some next week or coming soon. We got some more. We got some more stuff coming on that. All right, guys, not going to be perfect. Go for your goals. Live for your kids, live for your family. Get out there and get it done.
Happy to have you back, Daryl.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm happy to be back. I feel like a kid in a candy store.
Thought you were jamming out.
It must feel great to see yourself on a screen over there, huh?
Yeah. Well, my mustache says this is wonderful.
Yeah.
I wonder if the viewers on YouTube are going to comment.
Sean, if I grew a mustache, could I get a big screen?
You have a beard, and it looks sick. You have little.
You have beard.
You have the like 5 of the. You kind of have the. What's his name? Oh my God, John Wick. Who's God? Keanu Reeves. You kind of have the Keanu Reeves going.
A little bit. I mean, it depends on which Keanu. But me,
John Wick.
I like to think I got the Burt Reynolds. All right, y'all. We're out of here.
Must be Burt Reynolds or something.
Must be Burt Reynolds.